Hey, it's Salaama. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been following our family's journey living here in Mexico, welcome back. In today's episode, I am going to be sharing with you some commonly asked questions about the school system here in Merida, Mexico, and our experience. One of the most common questions that I get asked is, what are we doing as far as for our kids as far as education, and what does the education system look like here? What options are available? So stay tuned. I'm going to spill all the tea and tell you everything that I know so that you can be prepared for your move, or if you're just curious to see how things are going on my end. All right, let's jump straight into it. The first thing you're going to do is utilize Facebook groups. Search for some of the Merida Expat groups and use the search function in once you get inside the group, because things like schools, hospitals, gyms, those are some common subjects and they have been discussed already. And doing that will help you jumpstart your list and, make the search a lot easier. So if you have a specific question, of course, post your questions in there. But for the most part, people are a wealth of knowledge and they're willing to share their experiences so that you know what to expect. Starting with the school list is priority, and I'll tell you why for my second tip. Because my second tip is you want to live close to the school, okay? Because Merida is a large city and commute times, because it's growing so fast, and commute times can be long. Now, I don't know what school system you may be used to, but in the States, children went to school 8 to 3, and it was pretty much a full day. However, here in Merida, it's usually like 8 or 9 to about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so it's a shorter time. So you don't want to live so far away from the school to where it adds hours on your commute time per week. You want to live close. So narrowing down the schools that you're going to be interested in will 100% help you narrow down as to what neighborhood you're going to live in. So that's my little pro tip that I have for you. All right, let's get into tip number 3, which is, if your kid does not speak Spanish or is not fluent in Spanish, you're going to be looking for a private, a bilingual, or an international school. Now, if you're English speaking, that is going to be relatively easy to find here in Merida. Just use the search function as I was telling you in tip number 1. But I have heard and I've seen so many people move to Merida or move to their country and think, oh, hey, I'm just going to put my kid in the school system, only to start the process and then it clicks that this is just not a reasonable solution, especially when your child does not speak the language. So most people either homeschool or they send them to school, which will be an international, private, or bilingual school. So that's what you're going to be looking for when your child is not fluent in Spanish, or even when you're not fluent in Spanish. Look for one of those 3 things and you'll be fine. Tip number 4 is for you to go ahead and reach out to the schools that you have on your list so that you can get up-to-date tuition information and plan your budget more accurately, because the tuition information generally just isn't available online, and you don't want to get the figures from another parent, because it definitely matters what grade your child is in and also what extracurriculars you might sign up for and things like that. So make sure you go ahead and reach out to these people via WhatsApp or use their email. That way you can financially plan, because when you're considering a bilingual school or international school, they all are tuition based, and that includes registration fees and tech fees, so that you won't be surprised when you get here about the cost of the schooling. All right, let's talk about tip number 5, which is if you haven't considered homeschooling, make sure you have homeschooling as an option. As you are getting settled in your new country, it is very easy to get overwhelmed because you're trying to get used to things, you're trying to learn new things and establish new habits and new patterns. I know when we first got here, we were very overwhelmed with things, and it took a little bit longer than we anticipated to really start feeling settled. So once you get here, you'll know exactly what I mean by the routine. It can be difficult to establish because everything is so different. Your life is a little bit different, once you live here. But just go ahead and establish that kind of, outlet for the kids. Also, if you're one of those parents that's like, oh no, I don't want to homeschool, what are my kids going to do? They're going to get bored. Listen, there are strong communities here in Merida, which now that I think about it is a good idea to do. We'll just say that's tip number, 6. Join some of the local parent groups, dad groups, mom groups, and go ahead and start building relationships, because you'll start to see that there's lots of learning activities that are going on here with the expat communities getting together and doing learning pods together, doing activities, going places, sightseeing, and just a way for the kids to connect and have an outlet so that life doesn't get boring in the house just homeschooling all day. You get involved with some of those activities as you start to feel more comfortable here. Those are my tips that I have for schooling options here in Merida. I hope you found them useful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any more of my updates and other helpful information when it comes to living abroad and with your family, and little tips just to make your transition a bit easier, as you hear my 5-year-old in the background. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey fam, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me create more content like this where I show you our life in Mexico. Also, you can find me on Facebook and join my Facebook community for more spiritual related things, Divine Alchemy. Hasta luego.